Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about Ladder 49, the 2004 Firefighter movie. So this is a really good movie that I enjoyed a lot. I saw it 3 times in the movie theater, and I don't care what critics say. It's a really good movie. One problem that people see, they rarely make first responder type movies. This is really the only like firefighter movie I've ever even like heard of. And one reason why they really don't make first responder type movies is because people in that business tend to take things very seriously when it's not done just right. However, one of the people I went with, she said her grandfather was a firefighter, and a lot of the stuff she saw in this movie is stuff that he told her about when he was younger as a firefighter. So some things are pretty accurate and stuff. Now, one reason why a lot of people didn't like this movie is that they assumed that it was just going to be a firefighter type movie. In fact, it's more of kind of like a coming of age type movie and a love story. Now, I will say that sometimes the pacing can get a bit confusing because there are 2 different timelines that go on through a 10-year span. And so, it can be a bit confusing at times. Sometimes the director wants to, trick you into thinking that this happened recently, but it happened actually probably like 5 or 8 years later and stuff. And so, I can understand that. I can understand people probably being upset about the whole love aspect of it, but it just couldn't be just a firefighter movie without some type of drama, emotional type drama. And that's where it comes with the main character of Jack Morrison, played by Joaquin Phoenix. It's a coming of age of this young rookie who starts off as a firefighter, who's very passionate, and we see the course of his life between 10 or so years until you get to the present stuff. And it's really deep, it's very emotional, and it's gut-wrenching. Every time I get to the end of the movie, I don't cry. But I get a little choked up and teared up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's oh my God. You know what I'm saying? No. No. You know what I'm saying? It really hits you. And this is the first Joaquin Phoenix movie I've ever seen. Actually, it's the only one I've ever seen and stuff. I still haven't seen Joker yet. And, so he's in that. Also, John Travolta's in this movie. And this was actually the second of his movie I saw. The first one I saw was Face Off. And oh no, wait, maybe this is the third movie, because I saw that Be Cool movie. Lord, that was a terrible movie. So I saw 3 of his movies, and this is the second Jacinda Barrett movie I've ever seen. The first, she was in Urban Legend Final Cut, where she was the first kill. This is also Robert Patrick's in this movie, Morris Chestnut, and Billy Burke. And so it's kind of hard to find online. You can find it on Vondu and everything, but you have to pay $3.99 for it. But yeah, I still believe this is an extremely good movie. And it's sad that nobody never really talks about this movie because it's very heartfelt and inspiring. And there aren't that many firefighter type movies, like I said before. There's only been about maybe 2 I can think of, but that's about it, and it's quite a shame because this movie should never be forgotten. It should always be remembered. And Jay Russell, he directed a really good movie and everything, but it received mixed reviews and stuff. And like I said before, it's quite a shame and everything. But it has average ratings, it's half, 5 out of 10 and stuff like that. But what this is about, it's about a firefighter in Baltimore City. And so basically, like I said before, it's a coming of age story of this young firefighter named Jack. He is a rookie. He wants nothing more but to be a firefighter and stuff. I forget the reasons why, but he desperately wants to be a firefighter. Now, it starts off in actually the 10-year future present type thing, I guess you can call it. and he's there. He's a firefighter. There's a building burning at night. So him and his squad, they go in, and then something terrible happens. He falls through like the floor, and he crashes down a couple of feet down, and he's trapped under all this rubble and stuff. And as he's trapped in this rubble, that's when we get the flashbacks that happened like 10 years ago. And it shows, so it bops around between the present and the past, and the course of 10 years span for the most part. And so we see him, like I said before, like a rookie. He's like coming to the fire department. He's getting like, I guess you call it hazed by like some of the guys, 'cause that's what they do, One of them, the tough guy, pretends to be like a pastor, and he's all like, before you can join, you have to like confess your sins and all this other crap, and like they get him, you know what I'm saying? And so we see him constantly getting like pranked on, like they put like a goose in his locker as he like, went in his locker and stuff. And supposedly that's something that a lot of firefighters do. And they make them clean like, the place they're in, because they have to sleep there and everything. And so when his first like fire happens, he's really excited, very enthusiastic. But he's a rookie. He's too ambitious and everything. He tries to rush in when he wasn't supposed to. He's like the hose guy, And so John Travolta character is the captain, and he's trying to like, teach him the ropes. That's his mentor and everything. And so like he teaches him how to properly hold like the water hose, where to position the water at and stuff like that, And when he takes out, and it has some great visuals, it's some great fire, both real and CGI. And this is back when people used to like put like glares and like things reflecting on like their visors and stuff. So you see the flames reflecting off his visor. That lets you know just how tense this is and everything. And when he puts out his first fire, he's like ecstatic, you know what I'm saying? And so he quickly makes friends with all the other guys there. And one of the people that he makes friends with is what's that dude's name? Played by Billy Burke. I can't believe this is the first thing I ever saw Billy Burke in. I remember I saw him in this TV show. I forget what the TV show called. It was good in the first half, but it just got terrible after that. Dennis. So he becomes friends with Dennis, and they're just shopping around the grocery store, and they see two ladies that they like. So Dennis goes over there and talks to him, and he comes back. He's all like, "Dude, I gotta sell some dates." And so when they going on dates and everything, he lied to him, saying like how he's the captain and everything like that. And so then when they're talking to the ladies, they quickly find out, oh look, they lied to us. But then they tell them how happy they were to put out the fire and all this other crap. And so of course they bond and everything like that. And so like, then in another scene, it bops a little bit more into the future, and we see them hanging out at like bars, an Irish bar and everything. It's where they get their jollies up, and they're always drinking. And the girl that he falls on for is Linda. And so like Linda, she shows that, hey, look, man, I can drink with the guys and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no lightweight. And so they do this type of Kager type thing where they try to drink it, and whoever loses has to strip. And so she's like, all right, fine. The first one to empty their glass, has to strip. So as Morris Chestnut's character is like drinking, she just dumps her glass on the floor. And he's all like, dude, you cheating. She's all like, look, I said the first person to empty their glass has to strip, not the first person to drink it all. And so he strips like off camera and stuff like that. And then so there's like another scene in the future. Don't know how much time has passed. And this is why I say it gets tricky, because it bops around from time zone and stuff when it's doing that 10-year span. And so they're at the bar again, and they want her to drink, but she's all like, nah, I'll just take like water and everything. And then one of them's all like, what's wrong with you? Are you pregnant? And she just kind of looks down, and Jack is kind of like, are you serious? Like, you're pregnant? She's like, yeah. She's like, I wanted to tell you and everything. And so he's happy, he's excited, he's ecstatic. He gets to be a father, you know what I'm saying? And he's in about his mid-20s or so, probably late 20s, something like that. And so it cuts from that to her giving birth in the emergency room, and you assume it's her firstborn she's giving birth to, but no, it's her secondborn actually, and everything. And so, and then it goes from that to them getting married, and their son's like the ring person, and and the daughter's like the flower person, whatever they call that in weddings and stuff. And so the problem with the love story is that it bops around it way too fast. It would have been nice to see them grow and truly fall in love, you know what I'm saying? But it keeps bopping and everything from time to time. And so, like, he's still like the hose guy and everything, but then something happens. One day, they're on a roof and they're checking for like weak spots, right? Because they're about to take out this building that's set on fire. Well, he's talking to his brother, and his brother's also a firefighter too. And when he's talking to him, his brother's named Ray. And so when he's talking to Ray, they're having an argument. See, Dennis doesn't care for this building. He's like, it's old, it's condemned, just let it burn down. His brother's all like, no, this is heritage and blah, blah, blah. And Dennis is just kind of like, screw that, man. Like, let the whole city street block like burn down. Like, it's worthless. And then it happens. The first tragedy of the movie. Dennis was not paying attention to where he was stepping, and he collapses through the ceiling and everything. Well, this is the second tragedy, I guess you could say. But this is the one from the first in the past. So he falls through, and you see flames go everywhere. The building's too hot. They can't go inside to get him. He burns to death and die. And this hurts Jack a lot, because even though Ray is his brother, we only see Dennis and Jack bond in the movie. They're best buds. They do everything together. They got their wives together, you know what I'm saying? Because that other girl that was her friend, she married Dennis and stuff. And he can't fandom this, And then so, like, when Robert Patrick's character, Lenny, when everybody's mourning and stuff, Lenny, he's the grumpy one. He says something disrespectful, saying like, he should have been paying attention, which technically, yes, he should. This pisses off Jack. They get into a fist fight, and then John Travolta's character, the captain, Mike, he has to like break it up. And so he talks to Jack after that. And when he's talking to Jack, he tells him, it was a hard loss, you need to take some time off. It hurts him too, because he hates having to show up to a family's house in that red car, indicating that somebody has died on the job. And so this is causing Jack to be wanting to step up his game in the business. He now wants to be the person that has to go in and check for like cracks and checks for weak spots and stuff. This upsets his wife to where they get into like their first real argument and stuff, because she said, Dennis just died from this. Why in the world would you want to do the same type of job that he does? You should just stay on the ladder playing with the hose and stuff. And he's all like, no, like he doesn't want to do that. Like he really, he feels like really like focused on wanting to do this for some reason, kind of like to honor Dennis' memory and stuff. So he does it even though she doesn't want him to do it. But then his son is upset. His son doesn't want him to get hurt as well, But then, so he does that, and he's pretty good, and he excels at that and everything. Until one day, the third tragedy in the show happens. Morris Chestnut's character gets hurt. Tommy. And so, like, his character was walking in some type of like factory, kind of like underground, with a bunch of pipes and stuff. And so the firefighters are walking around, and a pipe bust, and it hit him literally in the face, just sprayed him with like steam and everything. And so he's screaming, he's hollering, and then so when Jack went to go visit him in the hospital, his face had received like third degree like burns and stuff. Like I knew heat and steam and everything can like burn, but I didn't think it could burn like that, you know? And so his son started to get upset. And it's all like, you know, he really doesn't want his father doing that stuff because some boys are picking on Morris Chestnut's character's son. And, you know, talking about how your daddy's face is burnt and all this other stuff and it's crispy and everything like that. And he tells him, you know, like, it's part of like the job, you know, taking a risk like that. And he gives his son some words of advice to tell him, you know, when other kids are picking on that boy for what happened to his dad, you know, you stand up for him and everything and let him know that his father is a hero. And, you know, that's why he does what he does. Because, you know, he's there to help people and save people from burning buildings and fires and stuff. And so, like, there's this one scene where he helps a girl in a fire, and it was pretty dire. I think he had to like swing from a rope on the outside to get to her and stuff, and so he got like a medal for it. But like, next thing you know, then it cuts to like the present scene, and he's in that building, and he's talking to his like team, and they're trying to get him out. They tell him to burrow through like another wall and everything, and he goes there, and they're all like, there should be like a door or something like that that can that we can get to you. As soon as he goes there, the team is not there waiting for him because the room is literally too hot. It is burning intensely on fire. There's nothing he could do. He is literally between a rock and a fiery place to the point where he tells his captain he just wants them to go. Like, that's it. Like, he's done. Like, there's nothing else he can do. Like, there's no way he can burrow to get to like another room. This is like the last option and stuff. And, you know, he thanked him for like, you know, helping him and tell him like, you know, look after his wife and stuff. And they had to leave him in there as the building just had to like burn itself out and everything. It was so sad and so tragic. But the heart-wrenching part was when you saw that like his wife was like doing dishes and the kids are like on the couch and stuff. And next thing you know, like that red car shows up at their front yard and everything, and you knew he didn't make it out of there. And so the wife tells like the kids go upstairs, and it was so heartbreaking and stuff. And so they honored him the next like, you know, at his memorial service by like having the like, you know, the I can't think of like the fire trucks like, you know, driving and talking about how like every time we hear that bell ring and like, you know, there's a fire, we're gonna like go out there as fast as we can in honor of like Jack. And you just hear this song, a beautiful song playing called Shine Your Light playing. It was just like a really cool moment, and they did like a montage of his life. And you know, that's what this movie is about and everything. And it's sad that a lot of people had mixed reactions and stuff to it. It's a very enjoyable movie. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.